So guys, today I'm seated in a 2015 Toyota Highlander Limited trim. So I want to tell you guys the function of all the buttons that is accessible from the driver's seat. So I'll be starting from this particular point. So here is the memory function. You have memory function 1, 2, and set. So this is actually to save the settings of the driver's seat, the radio stations, and the side mirrors, depending on the kind of vehicle. There are different functions for that, but it's basically to save the settings of your seat. The seat position, so that when someone else drives the car, you can easily just tap position 1 to take it back to the position you saved in that particular memory location. Again, here we have A written on the buttons over here. This actually means that the buttons are automatic. So what that means is when you click on this button and leave it, it goes down by itself. When you click up and leave it, it goes up by itself. That's what it means by automatic function, which is the A written on it. Then over here we have the BSM here, which is the blind spot monitoring. So this actually works with the side mirrors. So if I press the button now, you see illuminated over there. So illuminates on the 2 side mirrors, that and this, which means if there's a vehicle on your blind spot, which is the reason why some people lean forward when they are driving to see the vehicle on their side mirror. So if you have a vehicle in your blind spot, it would actually keep blinking that light, which tells you there's a vehicle in your blind spot. So that's what this button is about, blind spot monitoring. This is the power boot option, which opens the rear boot. Then over here is the parking sensor. When you turn this on, over here you would see the P illuminates there, which means it's on. When you turn it on, it enables the parking sensors, which means if you have a parking sensor in front or the rear, or front and rear, what it means is when you're getting closer to a vehicle, it starts making noise, and in some vehicle it actually gives you a notification on the screen that you are approaching an obstacle, or you're approaching an object, so you don't hit that object. That's the reason for the parking sensor over here. Then here is a windshield wiper deicer, which is not something, let me just put it close. Windshield wiper deicer. So it's a wiper deicer, which is something we don't really use here. It actually deices the wiper of the vehicle. Then over here on the steering we have the volume button, which is this. It's just to control the volume of the audio in the vehicle. Then this is basically to control the audio system, to change the track or take the track back. Then over here we have the voice command. When you click on this, you can actually tell the vehicle to dial a number for you. If you have your phone connected to the vehicle, you can actually tell the vehicle a couple of things, a couple of functions, depending on the model and make of that particular vehicle. There are different commands you can actually tell the vehicle to do, and they will actually do it. So this is the voice command button. Here the mode and the hold button. So this button actually mutes the audio when you're driving. So you don't want to hear anything, you want to mute the sound coming out from the audio, you can quickly press this. Maybe you want to pick a call or something, you can press this to do that. And also the mode button also toggles between when you keep pressing it, it toggles between your CD player. If you're playing a CD, you want to switch to your radio. Once you click on this, it switches. If you want to switch from radio to probably playing music from your phone to the Bluetooth connectivity, it also does that as well. So it switches the different modes for your audio system. Over here we have the telephone button. When your phone is connected to the vehicle, if you click on this, it picks the call. If you hit this, it drops the call. And over here is just direction and enter. It's just to navigate between the menus you have over here, which is what that this button over here does. Then this is the back button, also to control this particular place as well. Then here is this button is actually to change between the information you have on this particular screen. This is a multi-information display over here. So once you hit this button, it's actually to change the information you have displayed over here, right? So over here we have the cruise control button, which is over here. There's a thumb start button, which is over here. Then below here we have the ventilated seat. So if you turn this to the red, that's a heater. If you turn this to the blue, that's cold air. So we normally use the blue one over here because it's always hot in this region. So when you turn it to this end, it makes AC to be directed towards these holes on the seat. So what it means is cool air from the AC comes out of these holes you can see on the seats for the passenger and for the driver. So this control is for the driver over here, while this one is for the passenger. So if you come here, we have something like a traction control button over here, and we have a snow mode button. We don't have snow, so I mean there's nothing we can use that for. Then over here we have the aux connectivity and the USB port over here. If you just open that, you see them over there, which is for streaming audio on your device. So on the center console, so this is the center console, we have this rear, but this button written rear, and there are two icons actually here. So what this does is it defogs or it dries the rear windshield, which is that windshield at the rear, which is at the lift gate or at the boot. So what it does is during the rainy season like this, it helps you dry it out. And also this other button here is actually the heated mirrors, which functions for the side mirror. So this, it dries the side mirror. It's been on. Once you put your hand, you feel the heat on the side mirror. So that function is for the two side mirrors. When you put this on, it's on currently right now. So what it does is it heats the back windshield and also heats the two side mirrors to dry them up faster. This also does the same function, but this is for the front. This is your AC button. So this is just basically to turn off your AC. And the auto mode means once you click the auto mode, it eliminates green, which means the AC will be sorry, let me just remove that so it doesn't make noise. So what it means is when you turn on the auto mode, it means it regulates the AC automatically using some sensors that are in the cabin. So when it gets to a particular temperature, it reduces the AC. It gets to a particular temperature, it increases the AC. So this is basically an automatic mode, automatic function for your AC. You can see there's a blue stuff here. There's also a red here. It means you can toggle this to the blue part, which is for this driver, and this side also has its own. So this is actually a good feature. So what it means is it's currently on low because it's on the blue. If you keep increasing it, you're actually increasing the temperature for the driver, which means the driver's side, that's this vent and this particular vent, starts getting warm until it gets to the highest. Then you start getting hot air coming out from here and here for just the driver. And you can see we also have that function for the passenger as well. So if the passenger is too cold, he can just use his own to settle himself, while this is for the driver, right? So that's how that works. So this is the recirculation button, which means we want the air condition, the air in the car, to remain in the car. So when you turn this off, it means it actually flips something open behind the dashboard here, and what that means is air from outside can actually come into the vehicle, but we always leave it on so that smell, odors and all that, and cars bringing out bad harmful stuffs from their exhaust don't come into the cabin. So this is the fan, just to increase the speed of the fan for the AC and decrease it. So this is just to control the AC vents, to select where you want the AC to come out from, if it's from the top, from the legs, or wherever. Then this is basically to control the rear AC, to increase and decrease the temperature of the rear AC. If you turn this on, it turns on the rear AC, but we don't want that. Then the sync option is basically to sync the two settings. Basically, if you want here and here to be the same thing, let me just show you guys. So once you turn this on, it's in sync. It means when you're toggling this, the two go together, right? But if you don't want that to happen, you turn off the sync, which means I can now select individually what temperature I want for the driver or the passenger. So that's what that is. So that is basically the function of most of the buttons here in a 2015 Toyota Highlander, and it's the same for most Highlanders basically that come with these kinds of button. So if you like this video, you can put a comment for a feature you think we did not describe well, or you have something to say, put it in the comment section. You can reshare this to reach wider audience as well. Thanks, and have a lovely week, guys.